Over the past several months, you have asked me hundreds of questions in the comments across every video on this channel. And today, I am answering the 15 questions that come up the most often, all in one place, so you have a single video to come back to whenever you need a quick answer instead of searching through every individual video looking for the one where I covered a specific topic in detail months ago. This is a capstone video, which means it ties together almost everything I have covered across this entire channel from the very first video all the way through the most recent one. And I will reference the deeper dive videos throughout so you know exactly where to go if you want the complete breakdown on any specific topic, rather than just the summary answer I am giving here today. I am going through these in a logical order, starting with the most foundational questions that almost every new business owner asks first when they discover this space, and working toward the more advanced questions that tend to come from people who are already several months into their building journey and running into more specific situations that the basics do not fully address. Even if you are brand new to this channel today and have never watched a single other video, this video alone will give you a working understanding of the entire business credit building process from start to finish, end to end, foundation through Tier 4. And if you have been following along with me for a while already, this serves as the complete reference you can bookmark and return to whenever a question comes up that you cannot quite remember the answer to from an earlier video you watched months ago. Let's get into it. Starting with the question I get asked more than any other single question on this entire channel by a wide margin. Question 1. What is business credit and how is it different from personal credit? Business credit is a separate credit profile tracked under your EIN through 3 commercial bureaus, Dun & Bradstreet, Experian Business, and Equifax Business, completely independent from the personal bureaus that track your Social Security number for your individual FICO score. The two systems never share data with each other in either direction, which is exactly why a strong personal credit score does not guarantee business credit approval, and a damaged personal credit score does not prevent business credit success either. I cover this in complete detail in my video on business credit versus personal credit, including the legal protections that only function correctly once you understand this distinction clearly. Question 2. How long does it take to build business credit from absolute zero? The honest answer is 12 months when you do it correctly, following the tier sequence from Tier 1 through Tier 4 without skipping steps or rushing any individual threshold along the way. Your first PAYDEX score typically appears within 60 to 90 days of your first vendor payment reporting, and Tier 4 becomes realistic around month 10 to 12 if you stay consistent with 5-day early payments the entire time. Question 3. What is a PAYDEX score, and what does the number actually mean? It is a number from 0 to 100, calculated by Dun & Bradstreet, that measures how early, on time, or late your business pays its vendor invoices on average across all reporting accounts. 80 means you pay on the due date consistently. 90 means you pay an average of 5 days early, and that 10-point difference can mean tens of thousands of dollars in additional credit. Limits once you reach Tier 4 corporate cards. Question 4. Do I need good personal credit to build business credit successfully? No, not at all, and this surprises almost everyone the first time they hear it. The commercial bureaus never check your personal credit history when evaluating a properly submitted business application that uses your EIN correctly instead of your Social Security number. I have personally worked with business owners coming out of bankruptcy who built PAYDEX 80 within 10 months simply because their personal history was never part of the equation. Question 5. What is a DUNS number, and do I actually need one to get started? It is a free 9-digit identifier from Dun & Bradstreet that establishes your business's commercial identity in their entire system. And yes, you absolutely need one, since most Tier 2 vendors and all Tier 3 and Tier 4 issuers require an active DUNS number before they will even consider reviewing your application. Question 6. Can I build business credit with a brand new LLC that just formed? Yes, without question or hesitation. Tier 1 vendors like Uline and Quill are specifically designed to approve businesses with zero credit history and minimal time in business. And many business owners have their first approved account within 2 weeks of forming their LLC, sometimes even faster than that if their foundation paperwork is in order. Question 7. What is NAP consistency, and why does it matter so much to the entire system? NAP stands for name, address, and phone, and it means your exact legal business information must match character for character across all 7 Bureau verification sources: your Secretary of State filing, your EIN registration, your DUNS profile, your Experian Business and Equifax business profiles, your 411 listing, and your Google business profile. A single inconsistency, even one missing comma or period after your entity designation, can trigger silent denials for months without any explanation ever given to you by the vendor. I cover this in complete detail in my dedicated NAP consistency video, including the full 7-source audit process you can run yourself. Question 8. What happens specifically if I use my Social Security number instead of my EIN on an application? Your payment history reports to your personal credit bureaus instead of your business ones entirely, which means you could pay every single invoice perfectly for years and still have a PAYDEX score of exactly 0, because every payment went to the wrong system the entire time without you realizing it. Question 9. What are the different tiers of business credit, and what does each one specifically require to qualify? Tier 1 requires no credit history at all and approves new businesses immediately upon application. Tier 2 requires a PAYDEX score of 70 or above confirmed for at least 1 week. Tier 3 requires PAYDEX 75, along with a deeper multi-bureau profile across all 3 bureaus. Tier 4 requires PAYDEX 80, along with verified business revenue and minimum time in business, and can extend credit limits into 6 figures with absolutely no personal guarantee required whatsoever. Question 10. What is a personal guarantee exactly, and how do I avoid signing one going forward? It is a legal commitment that makes you personally liable for a business debt if your business cannot pay it, putting your personal assets directly at risk in the event of default. You avoid it by building your credit profile correctly through the tiers, using your EIN consistently from day 1, which allows lenders at Tier 4 specifically to extend credit based purely on your business's own commercial history rather than your personal finances or assets. Question 11. How often should I actually be checking my business credit score throughout this process? Once a week? Every single Monday? Using a free tool like nav.com, checking your PAYDEX score, your active trade line count, and your NAP consistency across all of your bureau profiles simultaneously. I cover the complete reasoning behind this exact schedule, including the specific situations that call for more frequent checks, such as right after submitting a new application or right after returning from an extended trip, in my dedicated video on monitoring frequency on this channel. Question 12. Can I build business credit without ever signing a personal guarantee from the very start of my journey? Yes, but only reliably at Tier 1, where most vendors do not require one as a condition of approval. As you progress to Tier 2 and Tier 3, some specific accounts may still request one, depending on the vendor and the credit limit being requested. By the time you reach Tier 4, issuers like Ramp, Brex, and Bluevine extend credit with no personal guarantee required at all, based entirely on your business's own profile, payment history, and verified revenue. Question 13. What exactly is application clustering, and why is it such a serious problem to avoid? It happens when you submit multiple vendor applications within the same short window of time, typically the same week, which the Bureau algorithm reads as a sign of financial distress rather than strategic, deliberate building. It can suppress your approval rates for 60 to 90 days afterward, even on applications you would have otherwise qualified for easily based on your PAYDEX score alone. Always space your applications 1 to 2 weeks apart at every single tier without exception, regardless of how eager you are to move faster. Question 14. What is the actual practical difference between PAYDEX and IntelliScore Plus that I should know about? PAYDEX from Dun & Bradstreet measures only payment timing, early, on time, or late, and by how many days in either direction. IntelliScore Plus from Experian Business factors in credit utilization and trade line age alongside payment timing, giving a broader picture similar to how a personal FICO score incorporates multiple factors at once rather than just one. A business can have a strong PAYDEX score and a noticeably weaker IntelliScore Plus score, so it is worth monitoring both regularly, especially before applying to a bank or lender that specifically pulls Experian Business as part of their underwriting. Question 15. Does my entity type, LLC, sole proprietorship, or S-Corp, actually affect my ability to build business credit? All three can technically build credit through the system, but the LLC offers by far the cleanest path through the entire process, combined with genuine liability protection that actually functions correctly once you stop signing personal guarantees on new accounts. A sole proprietorship leaves you personally exposed even as your PAYDEX score climbs higher, since there is no legal separation between you and the business at the entity level. I cover this complete comparison in my dedicated entity type video on this channel for anyone still deciding. That covers the 15 most common questions I receive across this entire channel. But I want to leave you with the single most important theme that runs through every single one of these 15 answers I just gave you. Business credit is not complicated once you understand the underlying mechanics behind it. But it does require precision. Precision in your NAP consistency across every single bureau source. Precision in which identifier you use on every single application you submit. And precision in the order and pace at which you apply to each tier of the system without skipping ahead out of impatience. Every denial, every plateau, and every unexplained delay that business owners bring to me almost always traces back to a small precision issue somewhere in their foundation, rather than some fundamental flaw in their business model or their underlying revenue. If any of these 15 answers raised a follow-up question specific to your own particular situation, the deeper dive videos referenced throughout this video are all available here on this channel, organized clearly by topic, so you can go exactly where you need more detail without having to search through everything to find the right one. And if you are just getting started today after watching this, understanding this video in its entirety means you already know more about how this system actually works than the vast majority of business owners who go years without ever learning any of this information at all on their own. Download my free Business Fundability Checklist at fundabilityhq.com/free-checklist, which lays out the complete 8-step foundation sequence in the exact order you need to follow it, tying together everything covered across this entire channel into one single actionable document you can return to at any point in your journey. Hit that like button, subscribe for weekly business credit content, and drop a comment below with any question I did not cover in this video today. I read every single comment personally, and your question might become the very next video on this channel going forward. I am Lindsay Shreve from FundabilityHQ. Build business credit with no personal guarantee. See you in the next video.